So, we're live. Hello to anyone who's watching. Yeah, just thought we'd go live today. There's not much going on this afternoon, so just thought, yeah, see if anyone's watching. Get comments in below, and we'll take it from there. So, yeah, any sort of movie-related questions, happy to answer. So, yeah, all there is to it, really. Hope everyone's doing well. It's got Soph in the chat. Hey, Soph, hope you're doing all right. Jim Jam Movies in TV. Hello, mate. Thought I'd drop by before work. Hey, Jim, hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you have a good shift. Yeah. Great to see you live, mate. Thanks, Jim. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I just thought I'd give this a go and yeah, see what happens. Really, been a long time since I've done a live stream, so yeah. So we have Cheetah will view. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for coming along. So yeah, what's everyone up to this weekend? What we all watching? Hey, Cheetah. Yeah, no worries, mate. Do I plan on picking up on any indicators from HMV? Currently 215. Indicators, they're hit and miss for me. Some of them. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I've got most of those titles on DVD, so I don't really feel the edge to upgrade into Blu-ray. That's the problem. Yeah, just real on the fence with it, really, to be honest. Yeah, some of the titles just don't really jump out at me. It's a shame, really, because yeah, I just don't really know with it. I was getting a bit confused there with the premium collection. But yeah, same with Indicator. It's just, yeah, some of the titles just don't jump out at me, I'm afraid, Jim. Yeah, I've got you sorted there, Soph. You're watching Hocus Pocus 2 next week. Yeah, I'm definitely going to give that a go. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. But yeah, just see what happens. I thought the trailer looked good, but the ending to the trailer I was just a bit put off by. But yeah, I hope that movie delivers, and I hope it's good. So yeah, and we've got have Cheetah, hey Pat. Yep. People saying hello to each other. But yeah, no, thanks everyone. Got 4 people watching though, so that's fantastic. So yeah, that is great. Soph's asked, favorite Christina Ricci film apart from The Addams Family. I'm a big fan of Buffalo 66. I love that film. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And obviously her first film as well, Mermaids. It's a movie I absolutely love. Yeah, I just think it's a great film. So you've got the real Fifth Beatle. What's up, people? Hope you're doing well, mate. Coro, hey Andy. Hey Coro, hope you're doing well, mate. Have you seen the new Funko Pops? Oh, Jim, you're gonna hate me on this one. I am not a fan of Funko Pops at all. They just do absolutely nothing for me. Yeah, I can't say much more than that about them. It's a shame, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Funkos at all. Yeah, just really don't like them. I'm sorry to say. Coro saying hello to everyone in the chat. I've got Mike here from Sinner Axeman. Hey Andy, hope you're doing well. Watched anything last night? Yeah, I watched a couple of movies last night. I watched this movie called Kids. Yeah, this was really, really dark and really, really gritty, but I really enjoyed it. One word I'd use to describe it is raw. It's just, yeah, it was just absolutely realistic and just brutal in parts. Yeah, just really, really had a good time with it. Yeah, I also watched a movie called Money Train with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. I enjoyed it. Thought it was good for what it was. Yeah, entertaining. Right, we got Half Cheated Review. Christina did a great 2-part Grey's Anatomy. I've watched Grey's Anatomy, but I don't remember her in it, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely escapes my memory. Got the Real Fifth Beatle. Watched Bodies last night. Wasn't actually terrible. That's one I've been meaning to see. See how that one. See what I think of it. But yeah, I don't know what to make of it, so I'm gonna go into that movie as blind as possible. But yeah, Half Cheater. Binge watching NCSI season 6. Hope you enjoy it, mate. Right, I'm fine, thanks. Hope you are too. As you own US Blu-rays, I'm wondering ever used a forwarding service or company. I haven't personally, no. I just tend to either get US Blu-rays off Amazon.com or eBay. That's really the extent of me ordering US Blu-rays. I mean, it's such a shame that you can only get certain titles from the US, but yeah, it's one of the pro benefits, I think, to owning a multi-region Blu-ray player. They're an absolute godsend. Yeah, they're just absolutely fantastic. But I don't really order anything from forwarding services or companies. Got Josh here from Classic Reviews. Hey Andy. Hey Josh, hope you're doing well, mate. Glad to see you live. No, thanks very much, mate. Got Pete from Playtender Guy. Hey Andy, great to see you live. Thanks, Pete. Hope you're doing well, mate. Classic Review saying, saw Don't Worry Darling yesterday and Holy Mother of God, it was dumb. Are you going to see it? That's a shame. But yeah, no, I want to see it because I think it's got a good cast, but I think there's some controversy around that film that is sort of taken away from the movie, I think. But yeah, I've got really no idea what it's about. Try and go in to these types of movies knowing as little as possible, but I got an email from HMV saying pre-order the 4K Steelbook, and I was like, I'll see the movie first before I do that. Harry Styles left me in tears with laughter. In a good way or a bad way? Sophie saying, thanks for sending me Phantom of the Paradise. What other musicals can you stand to watch? I bet it's Bugsy Malone. Well, first off, you're very welcome, and I hope you enjoy Phantom of the Paradise, because that's a movie I absolutely love. My favourite musical of all time is probably South Park the movie. I love that film. I love the music in it. I just think it's phenomenal. Yeah, that's probably my favourite musical of all time. I just absolutely dig that film so much. It's so funny and it still holds up. Bugsy Malone, however, on rewatch, didn't hate it, but I still don't think it's good. Yeah, it defines so for me, that movie. Yeah. Classic Review saying his acting was so bad and so funny. Well, yeah, it's Harry Styles, and he's not an actor. He's got no business being anywhere near movies, in my opinion. Just can't. Yeah, the end of Eternals. I hated the way when Dunkirk came out. He was mainly like at the forefront of that movie. It was just him being in it. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to see a good movie and just like stop talking about Harry Styles. It's just, oh, absolutely does my head in. I ended up watching My Name Is Earl this morning and Christian Slater guest starred in it. That's a great episode. I think that's the one where he's like an eco warrior and he's like teaching Elle to like recycle and stuff. That's a fun episode. My Name Is Earl. God, I miss that show. That is one show I'd bring back, and if they could do a proper send off, because that series ended on a massive cliffhanger, and I love that show. I miss that being on Friday nights on Channel 4. That show was just so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, absolutely dig it. Great premise, great cast. Just thought it was a fantastic show. It had some really, really good celebrity guest stars in it as well, from what I remember. Like you're saying with Christian Slater, just yeah, it was a great show, and I'd love to see them do a comeback with that. Bingo the musical should be a thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Pete, a couple of live streams ago, summed Pingo up so perfectly. It had me in stitches. But yeah, Scottish Pingu on YouTube's really, really quite something. I mean, that had me in stitches. Yeah, just a fantastic concept to the voice dub him. But yes, we've got Playtender guy saying, always loved Jason Lee and Almost Famous. Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Pete. I adore that film. Just think it's one of the best. I don't want to say it's one of the best movies about a fictional band, shall we say. It's just absolutely phenomenal. My favorite scene in that movie is the plane scene when it's looking like it could crash and everyone just pours their hearts out. So funny. But yeah, it's one of the best ensemble casts as well. That film, I absolutely dig Almost Famous. If anyone's not seen it, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's an awesome movie. That stream was excellent. Thanks, Josh. So saying, I don't get Pingu, his mum is ironing clothes, but none of them wear clothes. Yeah, I don't know if that's the point of it, to be honest. It's just ironic. I don't know, but I was never ever a big fan of Pingu as a kid. One, I couldn't really understand it, and I didn't get it, and it was just a plasticine penguin. It just didn't do much for me as a kid. I was never really big on those shows where they just had characters that didn't speak. It was all inaudible. Yeah, just really, really didn't get them at all. The theme tune to Pingu as well is just annoying. Yeah, didn't like it at all. Really, really did my head in. So we've got Matthew Biniosi VHS. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good evening. My name is Earl. It's a great, funny show. It is. I loved it. It was just such a simple premise, and it got really, really creative with every episode, and the characters in it were great as well. I loved his brother Randy. I loved his ex Joyce. Yeah, just such a pain in the ass, but yeah, I just love the characters in that show. Been a long, long time since I've seen it, but it was just such a good TV show. We've got Soph saying, have you seen Pingu, but in the style of the thing? Straight away, I need to see that. That just looks and sounds phenomenal. Thing's one of my favorite movies, and if it's getting crossed over with Pingu, yeah, I need to see that as soon as possible. Got Pete saying maybe Disney Plus could revive My Name Is Earl. It would be nice. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I've got my problems with Disney at the minute. I think everyone sort of has with the way with what they're doing. They're monopolizing and overexposure of TV shows and movies. But yeah, just My Name Is Earl is that's got great potential for a comeback. I think really really dig that show. So we've got Soph saying, "I will send you the link." Yeah, thanks, Soph. I'll check that out as soon as. Yeah, I'm just going to pause for a drink. But yeah, it sounds funny. Pingu being crossed with the thing. Oh. Yeah, so I think later on today I'm going to be watching for the first time on 4K the True Romance, because I just absolutely love that film, and another movie with Christian Slater. So I'm going to be giving that a watch on 4K. I might watch Tremors as well on 4K, see what that looks like. But yeah, it's got Soph saying, it's not long, but it's so well done. That is, yeah, that really really intrigues me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, could you do the comments from now on during Pete's streams? I'm leaving that to Pete. Absolutely. Yeah, Pete does a fantastic job on those streams. We've got Pete saying, "Got to shoot now, mate. I've got food shopping to do. We'll watch the rest on catch up stream, Andy." Yeah, Pete, that's no worries, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good shop. So you've got Soph saying Christian Slater in 4K. Yes, please. Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. I really, really enjoy his stuff. I've got on pre-order the 4K of Robin Hood from Arrow, so I'm going to slot that between True Romance and Waterworld on the shelf, just so it sort of blends from Christian Slater to Kevin Costner. I just can't wait for that steelbook to come out from Arrow. Really, really looking forward to that film on 4K. Tremors looks amazing on 4K. I put the disc in last night and I just skipped through, and there was one scene that I saw, and it was just of rocks and rubble, and you could make out every tiny rock on the screen, and it just looked absolutely stellar. So I'm just looking forward to checking out the movie in full, see what it looks like. Yeah, really, really looking forward to checking out Tremors on 4K. We've got Pete saying Christian Slater, also great guest, starred in Scooby-Doo episodes. So we've got Soph saying, I fell in love with Christian Slater in Heathers. I mean, yeah, I fell in love with Winona Ryder in Heathers. Yeah, I adore that movie. It's one of those movies that I watched for the first time and I just couldn't get into it. It did absolutely nothing for me, but I went back to it years later, and I just loved it. Loved it. It just became one of my staple go-to movies. I don't know why my opinion changed on it, but yeah, it's changed for the better, and I just absolutely love that film. I think Slater and Ryder have great chemistry in that film. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun, that movie. Just absolutely dig it. We got Coro saying very natural filmic transfer, delicate HDR grade, good too. Yeah, I'm really really looking forward to checking it out and seeing what it looks like, because Tremors was one of those movies that I was late to the party to. It's not one that I grew up with. I got the Blu-ray of it in the VHS range from HMV, and just not one I go back to a hell of a lot. So I'm looking forward to checking it out on 4K. I think maybe not having that attachment to the movie might enhance my experience of it later. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. So retro revival, Heathers the Musical was great. Seeing it again next month. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Well, I hope you're looking forward to it, Soph. Yeah, because I know how much you enjoyed it, and yeah, I just hope it's as good second time round for you. Yeah, because it's a great film. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to translate to the stage, but yeah, like I say, I hope you enjoy it. Got Coro saying Arrow's 4K releases was my first time seeing Tremors a month ago. Well, I hope you enjoyed the movie, Coro. But yeah, it's a great creature feature, Tremors. It's a lot of fun. There's little details in that movie that make the movie a lot cleverer than it deserves to be. But yeah, I have a wonderful time with it. It's like I say, it's not one I go back to a hell of a lot, but I still think it is a great fun film. Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, may Fred Ward rest in peace. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, that film. Really, really dig it. So we've got AJ's Movie Place here saying hello. Hey AJ, hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, so Retro Revival saying, what is the one film you recommend everyone watch at least once? Ooh. There's a movie I absolutely love and adore. And I've been thinking about this movie, and I might rewatch it because it's a little indie movie from the mid 2000s. It's called Mean Creek, and it has some absolutely phenomenal performances in it from child actors. And it's a very, very dark film. Shall we say? It's sort of about there's this bully at school who's bullying one of these kids played by the one of the McCulkin brothers, and his older brothers and his friends try to get revenge on this bully, and it's some of the most tense stuff you'll ever see, and it's horrible. It's got the one of the kids plays the bully from the Drake and Josh TV show, and it's just the outcome of that movie is just absolutely horrible. Everything that could go wrong, and it's one movie that never really gets talked about, and I love it. I just absolutely adore it. It's such a dark movie, but I recommend it to everyone if you've not seen it. It's just a great film, Mean Creek. Yeah, I just think it's fantastic. So you've got AJ saying that I found my DVD of Tremors TV series. Never seen the show. I've never seen the show, and I've never seen any of the sequels. I've heard the sequels take a steady decline. Is it after 2? But yeah, I know Fred Ward comes back for the second one, but yeah, never seen the TV show or the series. Yeah, I don't know whether it's worth checking out or not, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's a fun creature feature movie. I've recently picked up, yeah, like I said, the Arrow 4K, the special edition one, and it's always a gamble whether you order from CX or eBay. But at least with eBay, you get to see what you want. I had a horror story just yesterday. I ordered the 4K special edition of RoboCop and from CX, and it had pretty much the whole title on the front cover was ripped off. And I was like, yeah, that's just not acceptable to send that. So took it back to store, and luckily I got a refund. So yeah, took it back, they had another version there, and they took it off the shelf to swap it over for me and exchange it for me. But it turns out it was the Blu-ray, not the 4K. So that was a bit of a bummer. And so yeah, so I got a refund. Found one on eBay for the same price, and it was in a lot better shape. So I've got that one coming on 4K. Looking forward to checking out RoboCop on 4K. That movie's a masterpiece. Yeah, just really, really enjoy that film. So yeah, we've got Coro saying, I became a moderator and then couldn't use the chat anymore. Sorry about that, Coro. I hope it's all sorted for you now, if it has caused you issues, but I can see your comments. So yeah, but yeah, that is the gamble you take when ordering stuff from CX. They just pick out any old trash and send it to you and think it's acceptable. Yeah, this was it. Ordering it. I don't know if that's coming across on camera very well, but yeah, that was the photo I took of it, and it just came absolutely damaged and battered. So yeah, that went straight back. And I've got a new one coming. So yeah, Coro saying it's fine now. I've got Soph saying, "Oh, you were doing really well, Andy." No, thanks, Soph. Yeah, obviously this is the second live stream I've done solo. I think the first one I did was well over a year ago, but yeah, I hope people are enjoying it. Got 7 people watching, so thanks to everyone who's taken the time out to watch me this afternoon. Worst 4K transfer you've seen or own? Good question. It's one I recently picked up this week. I'll be showing it off in my monthly pickups because it's going to be a massive video with spending like there's no tomorrow this month on 4Ks. But one I picked up, which was awful transfer. And I know this movie is quite divisive with people, but it's Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. I put the 4K of that in, and I just thought I was watching the DVD. It's just grain on that movie, and I suppose it's one of those movies that's never ever going to look good on 4K. But yeah, my word, the transfer on that was awful. I really like the film. I don't love it, but I really do like it. I know it's definitely flawed. It's definitely got a gritty, low budget feel to it, but I do like the movie. But the 4K transfer of it was just wow. I mean, the movie's still watchable, but in terms of 4K transfers, this was bottom of the pile for me. It was just horrendous. Yeah, and I actually picked up The Hills Have Eyes too. Controversially, I did not mind that movie at all. It was a solid 5 out of 10 for me. I heard it was going to be absolute garbage, which it kind of sort of is, but I didn't hate it. I thought some of the cast in it were quite humorous, even though none of them could really act in that movie. But I still enjoyed it for what it was. But yeah, definitely in terms of worst 4K transfer, The Hills Have Eyes. I mean, my word, that was just didn't look great. We've got Soph saying, I preferred the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. The remake is really decent. Yeah, I think that would probably be the movie that Wes Craven would have wanted to have made, given if he had the budget and the restraints for making that movie. I love the designs of the mutants in that movie. They're just gross and grotesque and really quite creepy. But yeah, the remake's one of the better remakes. It's up there with the remake of Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They may not be as good as the original, but they are really solid remakes and solid movies in their own right. We got Coro saying, I have the 4K iTunes stream of The Hills Have Eyes and found the transfer much better than our own 4K remastered Blu-ray. Well, there you go. I mean, that's it's part luck, isn't it? You can you can buy the 4K remaster and expect it to be looking absolutely stunning, and you get the iTunes streaming of it, and it looks even better. But yeah, my way that 4K disc was it didn't look great, but yeah, I'm still gonna keep it. I'm still gonna watch it, but yeah, I have a good time with that film, as flawed as it is. I just think it's gritty, but it's fun. Got so saying I have only seen the 2022 Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Really loved it. Yeah, it's not bad. It delivers on the gore. I don't think it's a great movie, but for what you want it to be, it does what it says on the tin. That film. Um, it's just it had a lot of good effects in it. Yeah, I didn't really care too much for the characters in it, but yeah, I just thought it was good. It was good fun for what it was. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. It ticked those boxes for me, but it's not winning any awards at the end of the day, is it? You know. But yeah, I had a good time with the Netflix Chainsaw movie. Um, I really like the first one. The first one's great. It's gritty. It's dark. It's low budget, and it's just yeah, it's what you can achieve with a little. The second one I know is really really divisive amongst fans, whether you love it or hate it. Um, for me, it's just such a total shift from the original, especially by the same director. And the only other one I've seen is the third one and the remake. There's that franchise is up and down like a roller coaster, really. But yeah, don't. It's the first one I go back to the most, to be honest, and the remake probably. The remake's great. It's just has this really sweaty, sticky feel to it. Um, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. That remake, one of the best remakes, I think. Got Coro saying, I found Arrow's Blu-ray, The Hills Have Eyes, very good before I saw the 4K native transfer. Shot 16mm, blown up to 35 CRI. I expect a heavy amount of grain. Thought it looked like what to expect. Yeah, you're probably right there, Coro. When you say, thought it looked like what to be expected. But yeah, I just think it's one of those movies that it's never going to look good on 4K. Similar to 28 is it 28 days later. It's just the way the movie's shot initially from first run. I think it's never going to look good on that format. So we got Coro saying, "I'll shut up about it." No, don't worry, Coro. Hope you're doing all. It's all right. Don't worry. So we've got Soph saying, "Me and Jason have saved the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre to watch on Shudder." Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. It's one I grew up with. I remember watching it in school, and yeah, it's just a real gritty movie. It's one of those movies where you watch and you can sort of just feel the heat from it, like the Texas heat. Yeah, just really, really, really enjoy that movie. It's one of my favorite horror films. I'm meaning to get it on Blu-ray because I've only got it on DVD. But yeah, it's a great film. So we've got Jason the Old Millennial saying, "Hey Andy, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Jason. Thanks for coming along. I don't know what time it is over in the States, but yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, hope you're doing well, my friend." So we've got Video Tasties. Gareth saying, "Hey dude, hey Gareth, hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for having me on the other week, and I had a great time watching The Lost Boys with you." So yeah, that was great fun. We've got Cora saying, "Well, what's the best looking 4K transfer? Lame question. Sorry, people." No, one that really blew me away was The Godfather. I grew up watching that on DVD and Blu-ray, and it had this horrible orange tinge to it, particularly in the open wedding scene. And when I watched the 4K, all that was gone, and I've never seen it look as crisp and clear on 4K. That movie, it's one of the best movies ever made, and seeing it in 4K was just an absolute delight. It was just a treat. It really was. It just looked absolutely crystal clear. For me, The Godfather in 4K. Total Recall as well. The reds of Mars in that movie were just so vibrant and stunning. I just thought it looked absolutely fantastic. Beetlejuice as well. Beetlejuice is that good of a 4K. I've got problems with it because I can see the cracks in the special effects. The special effects don't hold up because the 4K looks so clear and crystal. Which is a bit annoying. It's that good of a 4K transfer. But yeah, there's a few that have really, really blown me away, and I've just had a great time with. But yeah, Godfather, Total Recall, and Beetlejuice are some of my favorite 4K transfers. They just look absolutely stellar. Just got Jason saying, "It's early in the morning here. Just woke up and looked at my phone and saw you were on." Oh no, thanks, Jason. Thanks for joining. Especially it being so early in the morning for you. But yeah, there's some of the best 4K transfers I've seen. Godfather, Total Recall, Beetlejuice. Just trying to think if there's any more that I've seen in 4K. At the minute, I'm trying to replace a lot of movies that I've got a DVD to Blu-ray, and some of my favorite Blu-rays to 4K. At the minute, so it's all about upscaling. We've got Soph saying, "I thought Psycho looked amazing on 4K." I've heard a lot of people sort of praise the transfer on Psycho, and it's one I've definitely want to check out eventually at some point. Because I know a lot of people say, some of the older movies, particularly in black and white, really, really lend themselves to that 4K transfer and really, really do look absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, the Hitchcock box set's one I wanted to pick up on 4K, particularly that Volume 1. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Soph. So we've got Video Tasties, Gareth asking, "What's on your ceiling?" So yeah, my ceiling is pretty much covered in posters of my favorite movies. So yeah, if I tilt the camera up, it's pretty much just like all my favorite movies. There's about 219 posters on the ceiling. Just all my favorite movies. Just thought I'd make like a giant collage of movie posters. Just hanging on the ceiling. I just thought, why not? But yeah, just thought it would give it a go and see what it. Because I used to have it done years ago, but I took it all down when I was moving, and then I moved back, and just thought I'd get it done again, because I really, really did quite miss it. So yeah, we've got Soph saying, "Shameless plug, but I will be doing a Hitchcock series on my channel." I'm really looking forward to that, Soph. It's going to be great to see you back as well. Hitchcock has some of the best movies ever to his name, and I'm looking forward to seeing you do a series on that, and looking forward to seeing you back. So you've got Coro saying, "Yes, Psycho looks great in 4K. didn't think if you've seen the Blu-ray of Psycho, don't think if you've seen the Blu-ray of Psycho, it's not worth the upgrade. It fucking is. Okay. So yeah, skip. I've only got it on DVD, which is probably scandalous, but yeah, I will probably skip the Blu-ray and go straight to 4K eventually. Because yeah, it's Psycho, isn't it? It's a phenomenal movie. It's got Jason the Old Millennial saying, I don't have 4K. I'm afraid it will be too expensive to try and upgrade everything. I'm probably behind in the times because everybody talks about 4K. Yeah, look, that is always going to be an issue with 4K, isn't it? You know, it's going to be expensive. It is. For me, the jump from DVD to Blu-ray is worth the upgrade. From Blu-ray to 4K, I think to the untrained eye, you aren't really going to see anything different. And the jump from Blu-ray to 4K is a lot more expensive than the jump from DVD to Blu-ray. Yeah, it's down to you and your preference. I'd say maybe if you've got a friend who's got 4K, check it out that way and see if it's something you want to, delve into and check out. But yeah, it's not for everyone. Me personally, I thought it was never ever going to be for me. There was a point where I was like, no, I'm not going to delve into 4K, and I eventually did, and I've never looked back. It's just for me, it's something you've got to do your homework on. But when you get it right, if you do your research about your movies, it's definitely worth checking out. But yeah, when are you going to do that, Soph? Yeah, I think everyone's going to be looking forward to seeing that, Soph, when you do your Hitchcock series. So we've got Soph saying, I need to film the unboxing, Jason, and then message my first guest for their video. Yeah, absolutely looking forward to checking that out. Soph, when you get around to it. We've got Jason Brett. Hey, Jason, hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for coming along. Gemini Man had a very good 4K transfer. However, the film being shot at 60 frames per second really hurt the look of the movie, in my opinion. It's too clean and unnaturally smooth. I kind of hated it. Yeah, this is one of these movies I've heard is absolutely garbage. It's hot garbage, but the 4K is one of the best looking ones. And yeah, I haven't really got any desire to see the film because I haven't really heard anything good about it apart from the 4K itself. But yeah, it's a shame. Real shame that Hollywood messed up on that one. We've got video tastings. Hang on, how many times did you say Beetlejuice? I don't know, probably about 8 or 9. We've got Anthony Digley coming along saying, would love to see Psycho 2 on 4K. Great sequel, in my opinion. That movie it's better than it has any right to be. Psycho 2. I think it's a fantastic sequel. I absolutely love anything with Dennis Franz in, and him being an addition to that cast in that movie. I was sold straight away. Yeah, it's a great film, Psycho 2. Very underrated sequel. I don't think it's anywhere as near as good as the first, but it's still a very, very competent and enjoyable film, Psycho 2. Yeah, a lot of fun, that film. We've got Coro here saying, the 4K release of Star Trek movies are a nice leap from the previous Blu-rays. To be fair, new transfers, so maybe not a fair comparison. Oh, I love those Star Trek films, the Shatner and Nimoy ones. Yeah, I've got the Blu-ray box set of them, but the 4K, maybe when the 4Ks get reduced in price or on a special offer on Amazon or HMV, I might pick them up because I just absolutely adore those films. I have a great time with them. But yeah, I haven't heard too many things about the 4K transfers. But yeah, they're great 80s and 90s sci-fi movies for me that I just absolutely love and enjoy, and have a great time with them. It's really, really stellar and fun movies. Really, there isn't really a Star Trek movie I really dislike. It's got Jason saying, I have Psycho on DVD, and it says it's rated R. They must have done that retroactively because I don't think they had a rating system back then. Yeah, probably right, Jason. Rated R. I think at the time that movie came out, because it was just so people had never seen anything like it in the way it was sort of marketed, and Hitchcock wouldn't let anyone in after it started. I think people make out the violence in that movie that it's worse than it actually is, because a lot of it plays in your mind. Yeah, but it's a great film. But yeah, rated R for restricted. That, yeah, it's an odd one to me. That we've got Coro here saying, "Get those Star Trek 4K releases handy. The upgrade over the Blu-rays is substantial. Worth it if you enjoy the movies." Yeah, I'll take your word for it, Coro. I will. Yeah, when they come down in price, I'll probably pick those up. But yeah, I hope they release the next gen movies. I hope we get Generations and First Contact, Insurrection, and Genesis or Nemesis. I always forget the title of the last one. Genesis, Nemesis. Yeah, I just love. I love those movies, and if the 4K transfer is as good as you say, yeah, I'll definitely pick them up at some point, Coro. The 4K Psycho has the theatrical cut and the unrated cut. What's the difference? I'm not too sure on either cut of the movie which one's which. To be honest, I mean, it's a great, fantastic movie, Psycho. But yeah, it's one of those I've been meaning to upgrade 4K. I've been meaning to upgrade Jaws to 4K because I've heard that's exceptional. I've heard Suspiria is the original is great on 4K. I mean, in my head, playing that movie and imagining it with 4K is just stellar because of the colors in that movie. Yeah. So what Jason's saying, I haven't really gotten into Steelbooks, Criterion collections, or box sets either. I just look for the individual Blu-rays if they have them, and sometimes just settle on the DVD. Yeah, I get where you're coming from there, Jason. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting into more the premium and collector side of things. But yeah, I can absolutely understand where you're coming from there, Jason. Definitely. We've got So saying favorite zombie film. I think for me it'll always be Dawn of the Dead. Arguably the greatest zombie film ever made by the person who reinvented them as a movie monster. That movie freaks me out. I saw it when I was 7 for the first time, and I'm 31 now, and it still gives me creeps. That movie. Still find it difficult to sit down and watch at times, but yeah, it's a phenomenal movie. I think the effects in it for the time are absolutely great. The cast of characters in it, you give a toss about them. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, that film. Really, really creepy. Great setting with the shopping mall. It's a fantastic film. Day of the Dead is probably a close second, along with Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead is just one of the best horror comedies, and Day of the Dead has some of the best zombie effects in it you'll ever see from a movie from 1985. Tom Savini's masterpiece in terms of effects. Yeah, I just love those movies. Shaun of the Dead is a lot of fun. It's a great movie. Return of the Living Dead Part 2 is great. Yeah, there's a lot. I actually really like the original Night of the Living Dead and Tom Savini's remake too. Even though I prefer the ending to the original. The zombie girl in the original as well is fucking terrifying. She just scares the shit out of me. But yeah, those are some of the best and some of my recommendations. Yeah, we've got Soph saying Jaws was epic on 4K for the first time. Watch was insane. Yeah, that is a 4K I need to get with Jaws because I've heard it's immaculate. But yeah, really, I'm glad you enjoyed it because it's one of the best. It's one of Steven Spielberg's best films. Jaws. It's a masterpiece. Absolutely love it. I've got Gareth saying, "Is that a Turbo Man on the top shelf?" It certainly is. Yeah, that's coming out, coming down from the shelf at Christmas time when I watch Jingle All the Way for about 10 times over the Christmas holidays in 2 months. But yeah, just absolutely dig Jingle All the Way. Got Coro saying the difference between the two Psycho cuts is 15 seconds. Ooh, okay. I wonder what scene they could have possibly cut out. We've got Jason saying, "Good eye, Gareth." Yeah, that took me quite some time to obtain that Turbo Man. Yeah, you just couldn't get one over here in the UK. Don't know why, but yeah, it just took me quite some time to get hold of it. I don't think I'll ever open it. But yeah, it's a good little sort of novelty piece, I think. Video Tasty saying Jingle All the Way watch party. Yeah, I'd be absolutely game for watching that. Gareth, it's just a great film. Absolutely love it. Soph saying Andy has an epic collection of stuff. Yeah, thanks, Soph. I think the big problem was Collector's Face's room. Yeah, that is just one of the worst things you've got to combat as a collector is room. Yeah, it's such a pain. Yeah, we've got Jason saying just like the movie. We've got Coro here saying no scene cut, just some more seconds here and there. Blink and you'll miss it stuff. Okay, so it's not actually detrimental stuff to the plot that's been cut. It's just scenes are a bit long, a couple of seconds longer. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you would make that an issue or make a point of that. It's just to make two versions. It's weird. So we've got Caro asking, Andy, are you a movie collecting addict? What do you think, Caro? I think I am, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We've got Video Tasty saying here, I could have had a carload of Turbo Men for 50p back in the day. If only I knew. Yeah, that's going. Yeah, but I mean, the more Turbo Men, the better. I mean, yeah. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but if anyone has seen the movie, there's the bit in the movie where he gets the voucher. He doesn't actually lose that voucher, so he can get one like in the New Year's sale or whatever. But he just keeps hold of that voucher, and you just never see or hear of it again. So maybe he does get the doll after Christmas. Who knows? We've got Anthony Dealey here saying, "Hi Andy, do you automatically upgrade your favorite movies from Blu-ray to 4K, or do you have a reconcile in your mind to justify the upgrade?" Definitely a reconcile to justify the upgrade. 4K collecting is expensive, and the leap, in my opinion, from Blu-ray to 4K isn't always that big of a leap, and it's not always the right answer. I think it depends on the movie as well. But yeah, I've been definitely getting into 4K. Some 4Ks I've bought are first time watches as well. Like I've just gone straight in with the 4K just to see what it's like. But yeah, it's definitely an area that requires homework, unfortunately. So we've got Cora here saying, "I was an addict too. Now I've changed my life for the better and harass random people in the streets." Yeah, each to their own, Cora. So Retro I was saying, "I'm going to watch Phantom of the Paradise while Jason is out. I will message you my thoughts." I hope you enjoy it, Soph. I absolutely love that film. That was a first time watch for me last month, and I just really, really enjoyed Phantom of the Paradise. It's great. I've sent Soph my Blu-ray, and I've upgraded my DVD, should say, and I've upgraded to Blu-ray, which I might check out as well at some point, see what the transfer looks like. But I really, really enjoyed that film. No pressure, Soph. But yeah, it was a great movie. It's probably the Brian De Palma movie that feels the least like a Brian De Palma movie, in my opinion. And yeah, I just dug it. I loved every second of that film. So yeah, we've got Jason the Old Millennial saying, "It's funny when I talk to people at work and church about movies, they don't know what I'm talking about. Since starting a YouTube channel, it feels like I'm finally talking to my peers." Can completely relate to that, Jason. I mean, where I work, I talk about movies way too much, and I can talk. People at work look at me like I've got two heads, and they're just, yeah, it's just like, what are you on about? But yeah, no. I think with YouTube, you find your place within the community here, and it's great to talk to people with similar interests. So you've got Video Tasties here saying, "Can't see the VHS." Is this? I don't have the VHS of Turbo Man, but is this in general, like just general VHSs? Most of mine are in the loft, but I do have one box set here, which I keep this quite close because I love this, and this is the Nightmare on Elm Street films. So this is 1 to 5 on VHS. Yeah, I love these movies, particularly 1 and 3 are my favorites. But yeah, I will probably never ever get rid of these. I just love the artwork on these movies. Pretty much all the Elm Street movies have great artwork. But yeah, I just think they're fantastic films, and it took me quite a long time to hunt down those on VHS, particularly the first one. Just absolute pain. Yeah, we've got Caro here saying, "I love your serious answers to my nonsense." Wow, that sounded wrong for some reason. Thanks, Caro. I'd love to work with Andy. Even just listening to you all day talking about movies would be great. No, thanks very much, Caro. That your support is just, it's always appreciated. Even when we're on the streams on Wednesday, you're always there chipping in. It's great to see your your commitment and your support. It's yeah, fantastic, and yeah, to work as well. That's great. Andy, you're a legend. Don't forget that. Thanks very much, Soph. I will try to tried to keep that in mind. But yeah, thanks very much. We've got Anthony Digley here saying the Nightmare on Elm Street movies so needs a deluxe Blu-ray release like the Shout Factory Friday the 13th set. Couldn't agree more. I've got that Friday the 13th set. It's just there above my head. Just there. It's phenomenal. I was talking to Jason Brett about it, and I think we both sort of agreed, or Jason hit the nail on the head by saying it's a miracle that set exists, because of it's a pie that so many studios have their fingers in, and it's just incredible that set got released. It's absolutely phenomenal. The artwork on it is great. The transfers of the movies are great. Some of them you get reversible artwork on the sleeves. It's a fantastic set with a great booklet as well. And yeah, I recommend that to any horror fan. The Friday the 13th box set. It was so worth the money. Yeah, we've got Cora here saying, you made him blush. Certainly did. You got Matthew Binney, Aussie VHS, saying awesome Nightmare on Elm Street VHS pack. Yeah, no, thanks. That is one of the crown jewels of my VHS collection. My VHS collection is not very big, but that is definitely something I consider to be front and center. Probably along with the James Bond ones I've got. But yeah, it's a VHS set I'm absolutely proud of. So yeah, we've got Cora asking here, what is the next movie you're planning on getting? Sorry if I already asked. No, I don't think you've asked that. So yeah, I've pre-ordered the 4K set of the Police Story trilogy with Jackie Chan. Great action movies. Mine isn't coming until next week, which I'm a bit bummed out by. I've got the 4K of David Lynch's Dune coming. These are just movies I'm trying to catch up on Blu-ray or 4K. I've got the Blu-ray of David Cronenberg's Crash coming. Pre-ordered Videodrome on 4K. Pre-ordered the set of Highlander on 4K. Pre-ordered the Blu-ray of Ghostwatch. Phenomenal movie. Well, probably one of my favorite found footage movies. It scares the shit out of me, that film. I've got the Steelbook Arrow release of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves coming. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get hit hard with these charges when they come out, but fuck it, love movies. So yeah, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. We've got Anthony Digley asking, yes, truly an outstanding set. Their Halloween set was excellent as well. I didn't see their Halloween set. Available to buy when it came out, but I've got the DVDs and I've upgraded the first 3 to 4K. The first 3 are really the only ones I really like out of that franchise. I do have all the others on DVD and the 2 recent ones on Blu-ray, but the first 3 for me are my favorites. They're the ones I go back to the most. Every October 31st, I watch the 3 of those back to back. It's sort of become a tradition over the last couple of years. But yeah, I really do love those first couple. They're a lot of fun. So we've got Soph asking, how is Logan? Yeah, Logan's doing all right. Yeah, he's up in Newcastle this weekend, and I'm picking him up tomorrow. So yeah, he's doing all right. He's being his usual naughty self at times, but yeah, he's been quite well behaved this weekend, to be honest. But yeah, I'll be seeing him tomorrow. We've got Cora asking, Logan is hot as fuck. Yeah. Andy likes stuff. Hey up, Andy. How many James Bond film sets have you got? I've got the 50th anniversary set, and I've got Spectre and No Time to Die separately on Blu-ray, and I have the first 20 on VHS. Back in the day when we used to collect the VHSs where all the spines matched up and they were all numbered and they created a giant picture. I love collecting those as a kid. It was an absolute mission. But it was a lot of fun collecting those. And when I finally got the Living Daylights, which was the one that they held back, it was just a massive, massive relief and sense of accomplishment when collecting those VHSs. So we've got Soph saying also, how is Xenomorph? Yeah, she's doing all right. She's doing all right. I'll probably see her tomorrow as well. We got Cora asking, sorry, thought Soph meant the movie Logan. My bad. No worries, Cora. We've got Ash here from Popcorn and Horror. Hey, Ash, hope you're doing well, mate. Hey, mate, just on a lunch break at work, so can't stop too long. Just want to say hi. Yeah, hi, Ash. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, hope your shift's going well for you. And I hope you have a great day. So, yeah, speak soon, mate. No, Coro and his dogs, Logan. Got Jason, the old millennial, saying, I have around 160 movies at the moment. Every couple of years, I try to go through them all. How long would it take you to go through all your movies? This is a good question, Jason, because I, pre-COVID, I decided to watch every film in my collection from the earliest to the latest. And it took me about 4 years to do it. And in that 4 years as well, I was constantly adding stuff as well, watching new movies at the cinema. And I don't recommend it to anyone because it drained me. There was a point where I was watching 7 or 8 films a day, and it took it out of me. Yeah, it was draining. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But yeah, it's something I've done. I'm never going to do it again. And yeah, it was just absolutely draining. But yeah, I wouldn't do it again because you have to force yourself to watch movies you weren't particularly in the mood for. And I stuck at it. I made the commitment. I knew what I was getting into. I was like, right, this is the best way to watch new movies and my favorite ones at the same time. Just go into it and do it. And it drained me. But yeah, it was definitely an experience. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it though. Yeah, it just took so much out of me. Yes, we've got Anthony saying, really like Arrows and Wild Things released. The movie was my first DVD purchase in October 1999. Yeah, the 4K of that looks great. Again, I haven't sat down and watched the movie in full because I just haven't had the urge to rewatch it. But I do have the 4K Arrow box release of it and put certain bits on it, see what it looks like. And yeah, it looks really smooth, really nice. It's a fun movie as well. It's naughty at times. Definitely raunchy. But yeah, it's a fun film. I do like it for what it is. Great cast to it as well. We've got Jason asking, are your movies organized a certain way? Can you find a specific movie easily? Yeah, that's a good question. So pretty much all my DVDs are ranked by year of release. So yeah, I have everything ranked by year. I also have a hard drive, which I whenever I get a DVD or a Blu-ray, I make a digital copy of, and I store that in a folder ranked by year as well. So I know which year it is as well that way. And yeah, everything is sort of stacked by year. So everything you see here behind me is by year. Everything in this shelf here is movies I enjoy and go back to more often than these ones. So this is pretty much like my holy grail of movies that I go to. And yeah, like the more rewatched ones, I should say. And then at the top there, we've got certain labels like all the Disney and Pixar movies along the top. The Arrow box sets I'm collecting are in the corner there, the 4Ks and the Blu-rays. And yeah, just some more like additional premium collections there above my head. But yeah, the collection's going strong. It's I think I said this on the stream with Pete earlier in the week. I'm 300 titles away from 5,000 movies, which I'm really, really proud of. I was hoping to get it done by the end of the year, but I don't think I will. I think it's going to spill into 2023. But still, it's an achievement I'm proud of. So yeah, really, 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 I'm proud of it at the minute. So we've got Soph asking, it makes films less enjoyable, forcing yourself to watch it. Absolutely, couldn't agree more with it. Yeah, I would never ever recommend it. Don't force yourself to watch movies that you don't enjoy. I did it because it was part of the thing that it was part of the project that I was doing at the time. Yeah, it was just, I knew it was something I was going to do, but for me, it was a way of trying to watch new and old movies at the same time to try and get my collection down. Because we, as collectors, we all have that pile of movies that we've bought and have not watched yet. So I was trying to get that down, and I thought that's probably the best way to do it is watch a combination of your favorites and newer ones you haven't seen to try and sort of combat it. Got Soph saying, I will send you my copies of Inspector Gadget and Bugsy Malone. Don't worry, Soph, I've got both those movies. Yeah. We've got Caro saying, do you ever want to watch something and take so long to decide? It's too late to start the movie. Hundreds of times that's happened. Yeah, I'd be like, what am I going to watch? And I'm just stood there for half an hour to an hour trying to decide. And sometimes I just end up watching the movie I've just watched again because I just want to see it again. I've bought the Addams Family movies, the live action ones, on Blu-ray, and I watched those 3 times in the space of a month because I couldn't. There wasn't anything else I wanted to watch, so I just rewatched those again. And yeah, just had a good time with them. Yeah, it's just an absolute pain deciding what to watch. You could have watched a movie in the time I've taken. Yeah. I've got Winslow here. Hey, Winslow. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks for coming along. Are you excited for the Netflix show Wednesday? Yes, I am. That's probably one of the few Netflix shows I'm actually buzzing for, to be honest. I think the cast in it look great from what we've seen so far. Haven't seen Lurch, haven't seen Uncle Fester yet, but yeah, I think it looks good from what I've seen so far, and I'm really, really pumped for it. We've got Jason here saying, I agree with Sophie. There are even movies I really like Lord of the Rings, that I have a hard time forcing myself to watch again. Yeah, absolutely. You've just got to be in the mood for it, really. But like I said, I had a pile of movies that I was that was getting so big of movies that I hadn't watched. I was just like, how can I juggle watching new movies and my favorite movies at the time? So I thought I'll just go through my collection from start to finish. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone at all. It wasn't a healthy experience, to be honest. Yeah, I only did it for a practical reason, but I'd never ever do it again. It's got Winslow saying, will you be watching Beyond on Wednesday on Netflix? Maybe. I hope that movie gets a physical because it's definitely one I'd like to pick up. But yeah, I'll check it out on Netflix first, see what it's all about. So saying, I started the show Dahmer about Jeffrey Dahmer. It's intense. Yeah, it's going to be, if it's, Jeffrey Dahmer, who's, absolutely committed some heinous crimes. Yeah, probably one of the most disturbing serial killers ever. I've got Coro here saying, same problem here about deciding what to watch. To make it a bit easier, I have a list of movies that have an extra cut / version and or audio track I haven't seen before. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. If you've got movies that you absolutely love and there's a different or alternative version, yes, try and bring something different to it. Why not? We've got Winslow here saying, I'm terrible at deciding what to watch. I've started just shuffling my letterbox watch list and choosing from top 20 it gives me. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually, to be honest. Yeah, quite clever. So we've got Jason saying here, when you buy new movies, you have to make sure you don't have it yet. Or do you know what movies you have on the top of your head? Yeah, I pretty much know if I own the movie or not. I pretty much can remember what format it is, can remember what movie it is, who's in it, and everything like that. But yeah, I've never accidentally double dipped on something. I've created a database now where everything is on there. It tells me what I've got and what format it is. So, and if I'm unsure, I'll always check that. But yeah, it's a good question. So we've got Ash asking, are you going through any sort of movie watching phase at the moment? If so, what? I.e. comedies or certain actor, etc. Yeah, really good question. I recently went through my favorite Tim Burton movies. So I watched Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, Ed Wood, Mars Attacks, and Sleepy Hollow. I had an absolute blast rewatching them. He's hit and miss for me sometimes, Tim Burton, but yeah, I just have an absolute blast with some of his earlier stuff. But yeah, Tim Burton was probably the most recent one. And a couple of months ago, I did a director that we all love, John Carpenter. I sat and rewatched, all of his best movies over a weekend, and I must have watched about 16, 17 movies that weekend, back to back to back, because his movies are just so entertaining. If his movies, can demand their own video from everyone. If you watch them, they're just, each one is as crazy as the last, and yet so different. And yeah, I just love the guy's work. It's just so creative. We've got Soph saying, I usually just let Jason stick something in and see what it makes of his choice of film. We watched Battle Royale yesterday. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Battle Royale's fantastic. I really, really enjoy that film. I think it's great. It's a great concept and it has a great execution, that movie. It's probably one of the reasons why I couldn't stand the Hunger Games, because I just thought it was a watered down version of Battle Royale. And whenever I watched the Hunger Games, I was just thinking I'd rather be watching Battle Royale. It just executes the concept so perfectly in my opinion. We've got Coro here saying, any movie you own you feel bad and ashamed of having in your collection? There's a few. I'm not big on Pink Flamingos, as anyone who knows me knows that that movie was really disturbing to me. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is one that I find really bad. I've seen the movie Scum. I won't ever own that movie because of one certain scene in the greenhouse. I saw that when I was 15 and it terrified me. I won't ever own that movie. It's a good film, but yeah, just that scene messed me up as a kid. I really didn't like it. Man Bites Dog is a Belgian movie. I know that's a satire movie, but it's really, really quite disturbing that in places. But yeah, just those sort of real movies that really capture violence to me. Like, when I think of violence, I don't think of gore. I just think of realistic harm being caused. That just really, really upsets me. Yeah, I've got a few movies like that. So we've got Coro here saying Battle Royale is amazing. Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree. Winslow's asking, have you seen any of Carpenter's films in the cinema? Cineworld showing The Thing on Halloween night this year. I've never seen a John Carpenter film in the cinema, to be honest, because I think when I was old enough to go to the cinema, that was at the time when he was doing Escape from LA and Ghosts of Mars, and I think they were a bit too old for me. But yeah, I would love to rewatch some of his stuff in the cinema. I think it'd be an absolute treat. Since getting on YouTube, I don't watch as many movies because I've made so many friends on YouTube and spend a lot of time watching their content. Yeah, I absolutely can understand that, Jason. You find myself juggling YouTube and movies. I don't watch television anymore, like standard broadcasting channels. I just don't have the time for it anymore. Nothing on there interests me at all. I just find myself watching other people's content and movies and maybe TV shows. When I say TV shows, like I mean a DVD box set or a show that interests me on streaming. Yeah, I just find it really, really strange the way things have gone at the minute when it comes down to what I watch. We've got Coro here saying at Winslow, order a ticket now. Absolutely. And we've got Soph saying, me and Jason are hoping to see The Exorcist on the big screen for Halloween. I would be so jealous if you get tickets to that because The Exorcist is one of my favorite horror movies ever. I adore that film. Yeah, I just think it's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I think I've hit the 1 hour 20 mark, so I think I'm going to call it a day with the stream. Yeah, it's just been absolutely a joy, and I thank everyone who's come by and watched. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night with this. But yeah, we've got one or two more comments, and then I'll call it a day. So we've got Popcorn and Horror Ash saying, "Have you ever considered getting a projector, a big screen at home?" I have at times. I've sort of dabbled with it, but I think with the television I've got at the minute, I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, maybe when I move again in the future, maybe a projector is something that I probably would look into. So yeah, we've got Coro here saying The Exorcist on the big screen will be a great experience. Absolutely, I adore that film, and I would love to have seen it on the big screen back in '73 when it came out with an audience back then. I mean, I would have loved to have seen what that would have been like. Yeah, if only time travel existed. So we've got Soph saying, Andy, you have smashed the live stream. Yeah, thanks, Soph. I hope I've done all right and I've been entertaining enough. But yeah, no, thanks to everyone for coming along. We've got Coro here saying, thanks for entertaining us, Andy. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, no problem, Coro. Thanks for coming by. I just thought, bit of an afternoon. I thought I'd give this a go. Yeah, it's been a while, so yeah. Big thanks to everyone for coming along, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon, enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend, and I'll see everyone later. Thanks very much again, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.